there was a time when this was happening and we were not aware of it. And, you know, like I would look at my phone and be like, oh my God, I was just talking about culottes or whatever. Ads would just pop up, and when I think about that time, I'm so embarrassed at how absolutely indignant I was. You know, I remember saying, I was reading the New York Times op-ed section on my phone, and all of a sudden an ad pops up for ilovecum.com. Children could be reading this. Why would the New York Times sell ad space to these people? And of course it's because they're not. That was just my phone knowing me. I don't want you to think of me like typing in ilovecum.com. First of all, it's a .org, but I didn't even know it was a website, really, you know? I just was typing in whatever my search words were at the time, like, you know, penises ejaculating or whatever, and my phone was like, stop typing, I've got you. And it would take me there, you know? It was like my phone's way of saying, when there was only one set of footprints. That's when I was carrying you. I got you. I got you. I know what you... Hum joke better have a Jesus reference or I'm leaving. Well, I deliver. God's love, I deliver. I said cum.com so many times, you're gonna get ads for it. So, like I said, we're really just grieving now, and it's interesting to me because, you know, 3 out of 4 of us are godless, of the sisters, not society at large. That would be amazing. But we're on our WhatsApp, our sister's WhatsApp, and we're grieving. And it does occur to me that grief is a lot like religion because we're trying to make sense of something that is beyond our comprehension. We're trying to understand, not be understandable. And like Susie wrote, you guys, 2 birds landed in my windowsill, and I know it was them. And, you know, Jodine and Laura were like, it was them. And I want to contribute. I hearted it. And then Laura was like, I was at Target, and a woman walked up to me and told me I looked gorgeous in purple. And I know that was Janice. And Susie and Jodine were like, it was Janice, you know? And I'm like, hey, boop, 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 boop. You know, and but it was actually what Jodine said that got me. You know, she said, you guys, I farted for like 4 seconds. And I said, it's Dad. I miss him so much. I mean, I'm okay, but I just ache for him. And the thing that surprises me so much is that I don't find myself missing like young, able-bodied dad or the dad that took care of me and went to all my games. I don't know why this is, but I find myself missing the end, like the final days. The quiet times when I'm taking care of him, and like he would literally have to tell me when he had to pee, and then I would have to take his penis and put it in a jug. And penis in a jug sounds like a dessert at TGI Fridays or something, but it's not. And but in the wiping his ass and like changing his diaper, at first I was like, Dad, are you horrified? And he was like, I don't give a fuck. And once I knew that, I could really you know, not enjoy, but I felt honored I wanted to keep him clean, you know, and maybe you guys are thinking like, oh, I would never want to like do that, but you will. You know, it's like when someone goes, I want to get a dog, but I don't want to like pick up its shit, and then on day one you're like, good boy, oh my God. It just goes away and you don't care and you want to do it. And it's in those moments when I get to keep him clean, you know, and I can tell him things, you know, like, Dad, I love you, and Dad, thank you, and also, you know, who's wiping the shit out of whose tookus now, asshole? Thank you so much. Thank you to the Beacon Theater, and what an incredible audience, and oh, good. Thank you. She was actually the voice of our local movie theater, Bedford Mall Cinemas, where all bargain matinees are only $2 Monday through Saturday. And she got the job because she complained. She went right in and said, I called to see what movies were playing, and the man on the line was indecipherable. He had no diction. I couldn't understand a word he was saying. They were like, you want to do it? She was like, well, I don't know. Yes, yes, okay. And a star was born. She really never lied. It would never occur to her to lie, even smack, bam, and I was like, ah! And he must have heard me go, ah! And he got quiet. And then I heard him open the window, and then he goes, bye, guys. Fly safe. I know. And I know he did that for me, you know. I mean, I know he murdered them, but he lied for me, you know. I think the reason why I have such an affinity for flies, oh my God, his doctor called me. We're taking care of him now, and Janice is gone. And I'm the point person, so I answer the phone and I take it in the hallway. And his doctor, Dr. Nortman, said, listen, we just got your dad's blood results back, and he's dying. He needs to be in the hospital. And I said, I don't know what to do, because we promised him no more hospital. He fucking hates it there. And the doctor said, you know, look, as a doctor, I have to suggest he go to the hospital. As a human being, you know, I think that's fine. If he goes to the hospital, he'll live a few more days, but there'll be hospital days. And right now, he's home, he's surrounded by family, and I actually think that's just the ticket. Then he said, the way he's gonna die is kidney failure, which just happens to be a painless death. You go into a fog eventually, it's almost euphoric. You know, I think he named it because Crazy Sophie's Factory Outlet, he loved Crazy Eddie from New York, you know, in the 80s, and he wanted to do something like that. And, but he needed it to be a woman's name because it's women's discount clothes. And then, you know, we're Jewish, so he wanted to sneak in like a Jewishy name, so he picked Sophie, Crazy Sophie's Factory. This was very literal. What do I mean by that? I don't even know, but she needed like specific instructions. You know, she wasn't dumb. She was literal. She was very good at sports, for instance, because she could learn each step. You know, like, you know how, like, I put my hair in a ponytail? It's just like, blah, 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 you know? I feel like she'd be like, you pull the hair through, and then you twist, and then you put the hair through that. You know what I mean? She's very step by step. You know how you scramble an egg, you just go, like, kind of have a feel for it? I feel like Janice would be like, you put the fork in, and then you put it in 100 little circles. I was in the car with her, and I go, Janice, do you have any chapstick? And she looks, and she goes, oh, shit. Oh, sweetie, I'm sorry, I don't. And I go, it's okay. And then like a moment later, she goes, I have